guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to talk about the new champion, the Fragment Summon. It is Kreela Witch-Arm. So I unlocked her, vis-a-vis the fragments. By the way, I mean, unless you're a whale and you're very, very desperate, man, $10 per 5 fragments. I would not get this fragment pack in the shop. That's just me. I'll never tell you how to spend your hard-earned money, but I would not do this. Also, what do you guys think of the new fusions, kind of doing them by fragment? In practice, I actually like it better. I like it better with the fragments. However, some of these tournaments, they made it seem like you could get 45 or whatever just by hitting a certain threshold, not, but by winning. Basically, you have to win. So listen, how I feel about the whole fragment summons type thing is it's good. I like it better than having to hoard a bunch of champions and hope and keep your fingers crossed that you have one. Even then, if you don't have one, you're going to have to compete in all these events anyway to get those champions. I like it better personally with fragments. That way it's all the same resource that we're using. We don't have to worry about, the ascending 7+, 8+, whatever champions to complete the fusion. So what do you guys think? Again, I could always be picky here, nitpicky, and say, hey, that's cool, but make them easier to get. Make these fragments easier to get. I did not rush things personally, and I ended up taking, well, I got her yesterday. So you do the math. I got her later than some of the other content creators, some of the other people in my clan actually got her because, again, I didn't really, I made sure I kept an eye on the fragments, but at the end of the day, I didn't go out of my way to just blast a ton of resources into farming to get her immediately. Okay, so anyway, what about this champion, right? Is she worth it? Is she solid? And where is she is the big question. Here she is. So she's Magic Affinity Kreela Witch-Arm champion. I have her in Relentless gear just for the sake of it. I mean, this Relentless gear really helps almost every champion in this game. But we'll talk about different artifact choices and sets to go on her. Let's start out with her skills though, okay? So, Witch Light Barrier is attacks one enemy, places a shield buff equal to 10% of this champion's max HP on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. And you can actually book up that shield damage plus 15% extra on the shield percentage. That goes off of the 10% though. That's not suddenly 25% of this champion's max HP. The shield is not bad, but it's not amazing either. And it is on the A1, so not bad to kind of have that kind of built-in ally protect, if you will, on the A1. Blinding Glow on the A2 attacks one enemy, places a stun debuff for 1 turn. Okay, that's 100% chance of landing that stun, providing you have the accuracy check there. 3-turn cooldown as well, and then the ally attack, the ability that she's obviously going to be known for here, has 100% chance when fully booked. Bad news again. Really need to book this champion, man. Sucks to say it, but I can't lie to you guys either. I'm not going to tell you she's amazing unbooked. You need that cooldown to 3 turns, and you'd ideally like to have that 100% the 3 random allies join in. So it's not all allies. In the arena, it will be all allies joining in, but in the dungeons, it will be 3 random allies joining in on the ally attack. They will be using their default skills, and one little nuance about this ability is if she kills the enemy, there will be no ally attack, even if they have an AoE attack. So she goes in, boom, attacks. If they're dead, because it's attack 1 enemy, right? So she attacks 1 enemy, she lands her stun, and then if the enemy is still alive, then the 3 allies will join in. So again, if you have her with a bunch of AoE, you have her with a Bellower, a Skull Crown, and a Biggin, and then she kills the enemy, they're not going to go and do their AoEs, okay? And then on War Weirding? I was going to say wielding, but it's War Weirding. What the hell is weirding? Am I just an idiot? I'm probably just an idiot. You probably all know what weirding is. All right, War Weirding. Weirding. My bad. Anyway, this ability is actually not to be ignored. It's actually a really solid ability, right? Increase attack and an increased crit rate buff on all allies for 3 turns and then attacks all enemies. So not only is it hitting for a decent amount of damage, actually not bad multipliers on this champion, right? But it's giving you an increased attack and an increased crit rate. One of the least sexy buffs in this entire game, but it's for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So if you're going to be using her, and you know you're going to be using her with a certain team, say for Clan Boss, right? You can actually build all the other champions just with crit damage gauntlets and build them to 70 to 80% or so, well, 70% crit rate, right? Because they're going to have this increased crit rate for 3 turns out of 4. It's not that bad of an option if you're going to have a solid team that you know you're going to kind of build around this champion. So not too bad. I mean, it's not the best ability in the world. I'm not trying to say it's OP, especially for a legendary, but at first glance, it might be like, that ability sucks, whatever. But actually, nah, it hits pretty hard, and it has the increased crit rate 3 turns, increased attack 3 turns. Put lasting gifts mastery on this champion, it could be 4 turns, right? Again, I would not advise though. With that said, I wouldn't go support tree on this champion, right? Let's move myself over to the support side. I would go standard War Master build if you want to use her against bosses or against clan boss. We'll talk about where she's most viable in this game in just a second. So obviously War Master, I'm trying her in dungeons, helping out a little bit with the waves, and I'm most interested to try her out in the arena. So I'm going with Helm Smasher ability. Again, the choice is yours here, guys. Helm Smasher, Flawless Execution, or probably most of you will probably be going with War Master as well. So War Master an option. Defense tree, I think, is probably what most of you guys will end up going with, ending with Retribution, having the chance to counterattack when this champion loses 25% of their max HP. From 1 or more single enemy hit. That's going to proc her shield as well to, you know, increase those I say ally protects, but they're not. They're just the shields on the lowest ally. What is it? Lowest ally? Is it 1 ally or 2 ally? My bad. On the lowest ally HP for 2 turns. So not bad, right? Not bad. Little bit of a boost. It's nothing crazy, but a little bit of a boost. When you're building this champion, what do you need on her in terms of stats? Well, the first thing, if you want to land this stun, which probably you do, right? Especially if it's the arena, you want accuracy on this champion. Otherwise, you can go with crit rate, crit damage. Her damage is based on attack, so really, you know, you have some options there. I built her with a little bit low accuracy because, again, I want to really use her in dungeons, and I have a lot of AoE stunners on my team anyway. I run Sylve the Drakes, as you guys know, my favorite champion in the game, so let me move myself back over. So I actually don't care that much about that stun, and that's her only real debuff. That's her only debuff she has in her kit. So I actually went with an attack banner on her instead to boost her attack, just narrowly missing out on 4,000 to do a little bit extra damage on this champion. Now, look at this champion. The downside is her speed is kind of low for a legendary champion. With these ally attack champions, we'd love it if they were like 105 plus, maybe even nearing 110 plus speed. That makes everybody on the team that's going to be joining her in the ally join-in attack a little bit faster. However, beggars can't be choosers. 99 speed is not the end of the world. It's not slow. It's just not overly fast for a legendary. Crit rate, we're aiming for 100%. I got 91. She does have that buff, though, so keep that in mind. And then the crit damage as well. So a damage dealer, she deals a decent amount of damage, can be kind of a secondary nuker on your team. And with the ally join-in attack there, is going to be just kind of a niche damage dealing champion overall for your team. Let's go ahead and try her out. Let's review her really quick here, guys. Arena offense, I'm going to give her a 5. She's great, especially if you want a different type of team for Tag Team Arena, right? Go ahead and give her a 5 there. Basically, put her with AoE champions, you know, Sinesha in Skullcrown, and you'll be looking pretty good, right? Faction Wars, again, I'm going to give her a 5. I would put defense chest on her. Clan Boss, I'm going to give her a 5. I think that Mur Inc. actually put out a video a few days ago, if you want to check it out, with her in like a god tier team with Clan Boss using that A1 to protect the lowest ally, and of course having all of those kind of, between the War Master and all those ally join-in attacks, she can actually put out a decent amount of damage, right? Dragon's Lair, I'm going to give her a 5. I think she's great for dungeons. Fire Knight being the exception, we'll give her like a 3. And then, unless you have a bunch of multi-hitters on the A1, and then you ally attack, get that shield down in maybe 1 turn. So think about it that way. Think about it that way. We'll bump her to her 4. We'll bump her to her 4, even though it's a bad affinity matchup for level 20. Arena defense, I'm not saying she's great on arena defense because you can't choose which enemy you are attacking with the ally protect campaign locations. I'll give her a 4. I think she's pretty solid. I think she's pretty solid 4 or 5s pretty much anywhere. Spider's Den, I'm going to say, I don't know, good, I guess, right? Spiders, I think, would probably be the exception. Everywhere else, I think she's pretty solid. Even in Ice Golem's Peak, where she has a 3.9 on the ratings. I want attack percentage on the chest, speed on the boots. Definitely going to want speed on the boots on this champion, guys. And then crit damage on the gauntlets. Again, if you have any Relentless gear, I think she's a pretty nice candidate to put in it. Accuracy also going to be important if you can get it off the substats. If I glyph her out, you can see none of this gear has any glyphs on it except for the gauntlets. I believe a couple little random ones here and there, but I could probably get that accuracy up to maybe 160 if I glyphed her out and get that speed up to around 200 plus. That's really where you want her for the end game. I want attack. Got a decent sub rolls here with defense and attack as well, and I went crit damage on the amulet and attack, as I mentioned, on the banner. If you guys want to land those stuns consistently, go ahead and put a accuracy, banner on this champion. All right, guys, here we go into the dungeons. Let's try her out first. Actually, you know what? Let's try her in the arena real quick first. All right, guys, we're just messing around with a couple arena teams. I think I have one ready to go. So we're going to try her in the arena. The ideal thing with her in the arena is obviously have her with champions who have an AoE on the A1 like we talked about. I have a speed lead in Arbiter. That can be anybody who's a speed lead. And then just find anybody, again, we talked about Soulbound Boyer. Anybody who has an A1 that has a, if everybody stays alive here. Okay, cool. So we're going to start out with the, ideally she would be first to go, or I should say first out of my nukers to go. And we lose Arbiter, so that's no good. Luckily, we have the unkillable on Skullcrown, so we should be fine here. We want to target Arbiter, that way we don't kill her. And now everybody's going to go in here, ally attack, boom, 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 teams wiped, dead, sayonara. Okay, so that's how it should work. Let's find, let's go out to like the most difficult team here. Let's see how we do against this. Really going to be a speed battle to some degree here. You can kind of see how it works, right? Simple enough. It's fun for a team. It's I got the Molly Tankard provokes landed on me right now, so things aren't looking too good. Let's see if we can stay alive. I think we're gonna wipe. More two? Nope. Block buffs? Nope. Arbiter clinging on to life right now. Okay, we slay Molly. Now we can go in with Ally Protect. Let's go after Arbiter because she's gonna revive anyway. So boom, stun landed, Ally Protect, and of course we had the freeze on Biggin, but we killed their reviver, and now let's see how much damage she can do here on her A3. So it doesn't really matter. Boom. Wow, not bad. 50k there, so not bad on the A3 as well. Let's go ahead and try her out in a dungeon, guys, and see how she does. So let's try her out on, like, I don't know, what, Dragon's Lair? Might as well. So Dragon's Lair, we have a team. Well, this team's a little bit too OP. Let's try her out in Ice Golem instead. So Ice Golem, this is a more realistic team here, right? So we have Bellower on this team because, again, he does have that AoE on his A1. We have a 4-time hitter on the A1 with Apothecary that would help us out again on Fire Knight. I almost feel like, you know what? Screw it, guys. You guys will get the point, but I almost want to try her on a Fire Knight team, even against stage 20, because what we want to do here is actually we want Apothecary in the lead still. That will give us the defensive boost. We don't need Syl the Drakes on this team, so let's go ahead and instead put her on this squad. And now let's take out, well, can we stay alive is the question here. Can we stay alive? Let's go with Stag Knight. Need a little bit of a boost. I don't think I need the AoE stun here of Bellower, so let's go with 2 Cold Hearts. Because what this is going to do, again, the idea behind 2 Cold Hearts, I don't really like to run 2 Cold Hearts on my videos because it's unlikely that most of you have 2 built out. But you're going to see, you know, in your mind, sub in any champion who has 3 or 4 hits on their A1, just like Cold Heart does. I imagine that once we actually get to the Fire Knight, where is my second Cold Heart? I apologize, there she is. Once we actually get to the Fire Knight with a team like this, even though she is Magic Affinity, we're going to be looking really, really good, right? Because, again, as soon as she lands that A3, we're going to get enough hits on the Fire Knight to get that shield down immediately. So the question is, can we land a couple of the Heartseekers to get that turn meter down as well? So first wave, not too bad. Not that we cared too much about time here, but 25 seconds, not too shabby. And then once we get to the actual Fire Knight, man, I think that we'll be pretty good with a squad like this, right? I do have my Stag Knight in a shield set. I've talked about this before. In terms of artifact sets For your Kreela Witch-Arm, you could have really anything, right? You could have crit rate, crit damage. You could have accuracy if you need a little bit extra accuracy help. You could put her in a Relentless. As you can see, she's going to have extra turns here. There's the ally attack. Not too bad, right? We're doing decent amount of damage here, and she does a decent amount of damage. I think my end, just to kind of give you my full take on this champion, I think she is a very viable, usable legendary champion worth fusing. I don't think she's an S tier legendary champion. I think that she is B tier or maybe A tier. I don't know, A or B, not S. So she's not like one of the best champions in the game. I hope I do not give you guys that impression at all, because she's just not. And that's okay. Not every champion in the game has to be the best, but she is a champion who will help out most of the people who have her, who get her, right? So I think that's good. And we were able to, I don't think we even went with the, is that it? No. I'm not even sure, but we got the shield down either way. Unfortunately, the bad news is if she lands that weak hit, but you know, we're good. We're good. Here it goes. That was the A3. I think she landed a weak hit on the A2, prevented the stun, prevented the ally. Okay, here we go. Boom, ally attack, and that might be it. Ooh, very, very close. So you can see sub-minute, 2-minute run. She did 620,000 damage. Not too bad, obviously not as much as Cold Heart, but right there in line with kind of a Stag Knight, and considering it's a negative affinity matchup, she definitely did a good job. Let's run her really quickly in Dragon with that kind of OP team, and really what I want to see here is how much damage she does compared to these other champions on this team. This is like a really fast team. It should be about a minute, because look at this team. I mean, it's one of my better squads. I think that, to be fair, just to be honest with you guys again, she would not be the ideal 5th champion on this team, right? I mean, because she's good. She's not just, you know, S tier, again, like all the other champions, I believe, on this team are. But either way, it's still going to get the job done. Biggin coming in there, hitting with the AoE on his A1, then going right into his A3. I think that Royal Guard, you guys know me. I think that Royal Guard is one of the best champions in the game for dungeons, especially with his aura lead. And we're looking pretty good here. I want to see how much damage she does compared to like a Biggin, compared to a Masteries, compared to a Dracomorph and a Royal Guard, right? My gut tells me she's going to be right in the middle of the pack. Not going to be the heaviest damage dealer here on the team, but she's not going to be able to beat out Dracomorph, I don't think. Or maybe Royal Guard either. But here we go with the ally attack. Again, all the A1s go in, not doing a ton of damage. Having champions like Prince Kaimar, who have a poison on the A1, Frozen Banshee, War Maiden, champions like that will actually be more beneficial for dragons, because she'll be landing all of those, or you'll be landing all of those poisons every single time you get that A2 to proc, right? So there we go. That was her A3. I think she might end it out here with her A2. Nope, it died from poison. So she did 525, basically the same amount of damage that Mashaled did on this team. Not too bad. Certainly, again, my synopsis, my end on this champion is that she's really, really viable for really, you know, early, mid, and end game. Just not one of the best champions in the game, and that's okay. Guys, let me know what you think about this champion. Did you fuse Kreela Witch-Arm? If so, are you impressed with her? Are you let down by her? And how do you feel about her kit overall? Is she one of the best champions in the game to you? Is she average? Is she below average? Does she need a buff? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.